Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail! Ace! 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 Ace!
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Green 90.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Green 39. Green 39. Left, 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 left.
A toss play to Hunt. Oh, twisting away. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, that's Hunt. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, Quarterback's got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Here we go. Green, 90. Green, 90. Left, 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 left.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Bortles. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now Leonard Fournette. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now here comes Kansas City. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground, and he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Ready, blue 45, blue 45. Ace, ace. Check.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes, escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what'll happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Mahomes now on first down. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later. But I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey. Here we go now.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Now Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Point after try forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. And he is close. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here we go now.
They start the drive with Peterson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for the offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendencies. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Mahomes now to throw. They complete it to Hill. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. And worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Chiefs are in for 6. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his RAC, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Walker now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And that, not a sight you want to see. Leonard Fournette very slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 27th. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. It's Hill, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Slow. There we go. Green 90. Green 90.
Mahomes going to throw. And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Working from the gun, Mahomes gets this one to Hill. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Green, 90. Green.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Green, 39. Ace.
Now here's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. He is going to find Hill here. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Well, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 21-7. Butker now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have come to half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, But I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart, started adding to it, and here we are today.
And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Green 80.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They'll try to run with Carson. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The Chiefs on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Mahomes to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 63 yards receiving for him now. And that last catch good enough for a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 43 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Ready, blue 45, blue 45.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run. Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Bortles on the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun on third down, Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Detroit! Gone! 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 Over! 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 Check 3!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and forever.
319! 319! Over!
Back to throw here. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Chandler. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here we go now. 319! 319!
Back to throw now on first down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
All right, here we go. 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Got you now, Barney. Barney.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Set. 319. 319.
He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
319.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Avery Jones with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
Green 80. Green 80.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Green 80.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now it's Carson. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Green 80.
They run again with Carson. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Yeah, they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Bortles got to have this one. And this is going to be incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 and the 26. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Back to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, Charles, I guess the only thing I can think there is they've got a 3-score lead, and they're saying, well, we're not going to lose this, so let's have some fun. I don't know why you go for it.
I think that's as good an explanation as any, and we all know that certain coaches are more aggressive than others. That call to me, the fantasy people loved it, right? Anybody who's going to touch the ball, gain yards, maybe put more points on the board, they're happy that they kept it and did that. So very interesting deal there, but I'm with you on that one. Maybe he just says, what the heck, we can't lose. Let's go ahead and keep trying to win or add to our lead.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And a pause in the action because the booth.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Detroit! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll drop the throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. He was trying to get it to George Kittle. It's tight end. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 10.
Gone! Over! Watch him now, Barney!
They'll set up to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
One final try now for Bortles. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 42, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted